Alright, ladies and gents, it's 1:15, a little bit high at 10.3 here, so going to inject one or 1.5. What should I go for? I think 1.5 units. I actually feel a little bit sick. Not sure if it's the combination of high blood sugar. Yeah, I feel very drained and a bit kind of almost like I've got a bit of a cold. Like I'm getting very cold quite quickly. But yeah, it could be just a high blood sugar thing, so hopefully once I inject and wake up later, I'll be okay. Right, here's my weight. It's 9 stone, 3/4 pounds. I did weigh myself last night when I wasn't feeling very well, and that was without the dressing gown, just in the boxes, and I was 9.6.5, which is below the threshold which I said I would stop the fast, because I wanted to stop at 9.5 stone. So yeah, today's the day I start eating again. Right, it's the morning of the end of the fast, and this is my blood sugar, 7.9, so I'll be injecting probably half a unit to knock that down, plus a bolus for whatever I'm eating. And that's my ketone level, which is the highest it's been, 5.8. I don't know whether that's too high, whether that was the reason I felt ill, or whether that's okay. I think according to that chart, that's pushing into the starvation mode. But it's only borderline that, I think. So yeah, who knows? I'm feeling a lot better this morning, but I don't want to push it too hard. I think 5 days is good enough for my first fast, so yeah, we'll leave it at that, I think. And this is my blood pressure on the day of the refeed, day of breaking the fast. And the systolic seems to have gone down, the diastolic seems to have gone up, and the pulse has gone up quite rapidly. So I think when I first did this, on the first couple of days, it was like 46. And it's been steadily creeping ever since. I don't know whether the runs had helped kept it down. But yeah, that's the blood pressure reading. Good morning. Start of the refeed today, breaking the fast today. Reason being, not too long after my 1 o'clock reading, which was when my blood sugar was 10.3, which is the highest it's been throughout the fast. I suddenly felt really sick, and I had to rush to the bathroom, and I was sick. Threw up a load of water, which isn't good because I tried to sip water afterwards, and I couldn't it's not I couldn't keep it down, it's just I couldn't drink it. So obviously getting dehydrated coupled with high blood sugar and high ketones is not a good combination, because that's essentially what happens with diabetic ketoacidosis. Now my ketones weren't nearly as high as what's required for that. I think it's 10 millimole, 10, well, whatever the ketones are measured in. It's 10 plus according to that chart anyway, although I'm sure you can probably go into it at something a little bit lower than that. Whereas mine was 5.6, but safe to say I felt horrific. I felt really bad. I felt very kind of shaky and energyless, and yeah, wasn't a good few hours of feeling that way. I did feel a little bit better once I got some insulin in my system. During one of the first videos I did, I mentioned the importance of keeping some insulin on board at all times, and then I proceeded to completely ignore my own advice and not have any basal at all. So that's an important takeaway. If I was on a pump, then I'd just pump minimal amounts. So, but the important thing is to actually keep something on board, because it's easy to feel like shit, essentially. So I've just done all my readings for this morning before I've eaten. My blood sugar, my weight, my blood pressure and ketone levels. So you should have seen them already if I've edited this correctly. But yeah, what are my takeaways? I've just written them on the computer so I don't forget any. But if I do forget any, I'll include them in another video. First one, reduced basal first day. First day I didn't bother reducing it, and then I had a low in the night. Second is to realise how potent basal insulin actually is. So the second night I reduced it by nearly a half, and it still wasn't enough. It started to have sugar, and I still went low in the night. However, always keep some basal on board and less pumping, which is the subject I just went into. I did feel a little bit sick on occasion, not including the time when I actually was sick, but that was a very minor. It was kind of like, as I said in the video, it was just kind of the feeling you get when you haven't eaten for a while. It wasn't anything major. Yeah, the other point is one I've already gone into. If blood sugars are relatively high, coupled with high ketones, then this can potentially make you sick, which is related to diabetic ketoacidosis. So yeah, makes sense. I did feel a little bit lightheaded on occasion, especially when standing up quickly. I don't know whether that's to do with blood pressure, blood sugar, energy levels, electrolytes. I'm not too sure, any combination of the above. I had a very slight fuzzy / tingling feeling in my hands and face one day, maybe 2 days, but that's gone, so I don't know what that was about. And I've had quite cold hands and feet for the last few days, so clearly something's going on with the circulation. Maybe it's all going to the vital organs or whatever, to my core body. And as well as cold hands and feet, especially when last night when I was feeling very unwell, I got kind of like hot flushes and cold flushes, and basically just felt like I had a bit of a mild fever, but that was only last night. I think the day before I did feel a bit hot and a bit cold every now and then. It was like a very mild, not fever, but like a cold. When do you know that feeling you get when you feel a cold coming on, so you haven't actually got it yet? That was the kind of feeling I got. But yeah, that pretty much covers the sort of tips and kind of what I experienced throughout this fast. And I will be doing another fast despite the poor end to this one. I think I may have just pushed it a bit too hard, and I didn't really calculate my electrolytes, and also didn't keep the insulin on board. So a few errors to correct, but in general the fast has been very good. I have felt good on it, especially the first 3 or 4 days, and I don't think I'll ever do too long a fast unless I put on a lot of weight. As I said in the weight video, I've already gone under the threshold that I wanted to go under, which was 9.5 stone. I expect to gain quite a bit of that back in water weight when I start eating carbohydrates again. And speaking of carbohydrates, I think I'll be having a berry and chia seed smoothie to start, maybe with a tiny bit of banana. I want to keep the carbohydrates fairly low, the sugars fairly low, because I don't want to spike my blood sugars whilst my ketones are still high. I do want to try a more low carb diet. I've been eating quite a lot of carbs recently before the fast. I think I'm a little bit addicted to fruit, so I do need to sort that out really, but it's so annoying that fruit's unhealthy because it affects blood sugar so much. It should be healthy. Makes no sense. But yeah, with that said, I'll end this kind of summary now, this overview. If I think of anything else, I'll include it in another video. And yeah, the next video should be of me making my food and enjoying something to eat. I'm a bit parched as well because of last night, so I need to get some water down me as well. So yeah, I shall see you in the next update. Right, here we go. I'm going to break the fast. So I've got some blueberries there. I won't be eating all of them. That's about 300 grams worth. I'll put about 100 grams in. Maybe a couple of chunks of banana and about 30 grams of chia seeds. And that'll be it for my first smoothie. I'm going to keep them reasonably small and then try and have them fairly regularly. And I'm not going to inject straight away for them, because although there is carbohydrates in there, I don't know whether I'll be able to keep them down because my stomach's still feeling a bit dodgy. So yeah, we'll see. And here is the blender I'll be using. It's the Von Chef. I love the name. It's served me very well over the last sort of, I don't know, nearly a year probably now. I've no affiliations with the company, by the way. I just like the name, and it does a good job. So yeah, if you're in need of a blender, then yeah, thoroughly recommend this one. But yeah, let's get started on this smoothie, shall we? Can't wait. So that's 100 grams of blueberries and a couple of chunks of banana. In fact, if I take that off, I know exactly how much in weight. Oh, 50 grams. That's a pretty good guesstimate. So yeah, I'm going to pop some water in and then the chia seeds, and I'm good to go. I'm very much looking forward to this. From what I've heard from other people who've done fasts, taste is quite pronounced after not having food for a few days. So, and they already tasted good when I had them before. So, good stuff. So yeah, with that said, cheers. Oh yeah, so nice. The flavours are so much more intense. Hot diggity damn, that's good. Right, I think we'll leave it there. I'm going to tuck in. Try not to drink it too quickly, but it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. It's going to require quite a lot of willpower not to. So yeah, I shall see you in the next one. Right, the time is 10 to 9 and about an hour after I've eaten the smoothie. I'm a little bit high already. I think I might inject a little bit more insulin just because I've not got any background on board at the moment, so I'm going to have to inject a little bit extra to make up for that, I think. In terms of injection wise, I've given myself 2 units in total, one for the dawn phenomenon, plus correcting the fact that I was a bit high this morning, and one for the smoothie, but I think I'm going to give myself an extra one and then just see how it goes from there. Yeah, an extra one will do it. Yeah, that sounds good. The time is now just gone 10 in the morning, and so it's about an hour later, and I'm 10.9, which is still a bit high. It's pretty much stayed exactly the same as the previous test, so probably a good job I injected that extra unit of insulin. I'm not going to inject any more just in case. Well, the other insulin will still be working its magic, so I don't want to overdo it and go low. So yeah, we shall see what it's like in another hour or two. Hello. The time is now 10:30 in the morning. I'm feeling a lot better, a lot more energy. That smoothie really did the trick, although it did bug my sugars a bit, but that's to be expected. Considering I've got no basil on board at the moment. Having myself a cup of homemade mint and licorice tea, which I promise is a lot nicer than it sounds or looks. But yeah, that's one of the things I've missed whilst fasting, having some nice warm drinks. I know some people fast with tea, but I decided not to for this one. But yeah, that's delicious. The licorice, I really don't like licorice in terms of sweets and things like that, but I bought a big bag of licorice root and a big bag of peppermint, not peppermint, just mint, and I mixed them in that little container thing. And the licorice just has a nice sweetness. Anyway, I digress. As I say, I feel much better. The achiness has gone in my limbs. Hopefully I seem more alert. I'm not sure if I do or not, but yeah, last night wasn't very pleasant. It was only a couple of hours, and I think it really was the sugars or the ketones or a combination. But yeah, I'm enjoying being back on the smoothies. Going to have a few more smoothies today. The plan of action is to have a few small ones throughout the day, and then I might have a vegetable hot pot this afternoon or this evening, shall I say. I'm not too worried about refeeding syndrome, which I know some people speak of, just because it's a relatively short fast compared to other people who do weeks at a time. So I think hopefully my digestive system will be geared up for that by this evening. So, and then by tomorrow, probably hit some more smoothies in the morning, which is what I've been doing prior to my fast anyway, and then pretty much be back to a normal diet. But as I say, I'm going to try and cut down on the carbs just because they really do screw your sugars. But it's just hard to get off that fruit hype. But yeah, Anyway, I shall see you in the next video. The time's now 12 o'clock midday and 9.8. So it has come down, but it's still too high really. It's outside the range that I'd like. So I'm going to inject further because most of the insulin would have worn off by now. And I'll bolus for this, and I'm going to have another smoothie as well now. Keep that food coming. Right, this is my second smoothie of the day. It's 100 grams of strawberries, 25 grams of cashew nuts, and 50 grams of banana. I know that nuts are a little bit more difficult to digest than fruits, but I feel like the amount will be fine. And as well as that, I've got the remains of the previous smoothie because I'm not really about that clean life. So yeah, should add to the taste. Cheers. Oh, so good. It's currently 20 to 2 in the afternoon and I'm 10.5, so I injected 3 units for the previous smoothie. 1 to bring me down and then 2 for the smoothie, but clearly I need a little bit more than that, maybe about a unit and a half more. So I'm going to have another smoothie because these have really brought out my appetite again, and this time I'll inject a little bit more to try and get my blood sugars back into the normal range. Alrighty there, gonna have third meal of the day. First 2 were smoothies, blueberry and then a strawberry one, and now I'm gonna have a red pepper and lentil soup, which is probably a little bit too carby for me, to be honest. I do need to look into my diet and change it a little bit, but it tastes damn good, so let's turn it down. I'm going to have that for like a starter, and then for a pudding I'm going to have the same smoothie as I had this morning, the blueberry one. Eating's really spiked my appetite and I'm absolutely starving now, so I'm going to try and take it easy, but it's going to be hard not to wolf down this food, to be honest. But at least it's all in liquid form, so it should be reasonably easy to digest. And here we have it. Doesn't look the most appetising, but then again soups tend not to. I'm going to whack quite a hefty amount of Himalayan pink salt on because salt, from what I've read, increases insulin sensitivity, and it also tastes damn good, so yeah, that's the plan. It's now 3 PM, an hour after I started eating the soup at 9.3, so still a bit high, but a bit above range, but it has come down slightly, so the insulin will still be working, so I'm not going to inject any further just at the moment. I'll wait until I check it in about an hour and a half's time. Alright ladies and gents, it's an hour and 45 minutes after I last ate. It's 3:45 and I'm already starving again, so I'm going to have to eat some more food. So I thought, why not make another soup, because I really enjoyed the last one, it was very nice. So we've got the ingredients here. 1 red pepper, some mushrooms, I'm not sure how many I'll use yet, maybe half a pack, maybe the whole pack. I put about a teaspoon of cumin in, a respectable amount of Himalayan pink salt, some black pepper, and not quite the whole tub of this, but probably about a half spoon of turmeric, because that's extremely good for you. And an onion, rather small onion, very small onion, that should do it. And I shall see you momentarily when hopefully it's ready. Right, the soup's ready. I've not bothered blending it just because I can't be bothered. I'm hungry and I don't want to do any more washing up. And I forgot an ingredient, which is a tin of chopped tomatoes. But yeah, it's looking good. Chunky soup. Nom, 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 nom. It's dinner time. Got vegetable hot pot on the go. We've got cauliflower, carrot, mushroom, onion, leek, garlic, and tomatoes, chopped tomatoes in there. Very much looking forward to this. Right, the time's now 10 to 8, and I'm finally back into the blue zone, so that's good. 5.2, that's pretty good reading. I'm hoping the insulin isn't still doing work, otherwise I may end up going low, so I guess only time will tell there. But yeah, I'm feeling much better now. So yeah, been a good day. The time is now 20 past 10 in the evening, and blood sugar looking good, within the blue range, 5.8 there. I also did a ketone just for, out of curiosity, 0.1, which is pretty expected, but there's an amount of fat burning now. And yeah, basal wise, for my background, I injected 8 units. So before the fast, I was on 10 units, split into 5 injections. This time I did 2 4 injections, just because I'm not sure if whether the fasting would have helped with insulin sensitivity or not. So we shall see. If I go low in the night, then that potentially was the basal being too high. If I creep up, then that means that maybe 10 was the way to go, but we shall see. It's now 11:30 at night, and I'm 8.6, which is a little bit high, so I'm going to inject 1 unit of NovaRapid. Alright, ladies and gents, end of the breaking the fast day, and I've certainly broken the fast. I've eaten a hell of a lot today, as well as the stuff that I videoed. I also had some broccoli and onion soup, which is very nice, and 7 bananas, which is probably an excessive amount of bananas. Certainly an excessive amount of carbs, not the best for blood sugar control, that's for sure. Blood sugars wise, on the subject of which, have been nowhere near as good as during the fast, which was to be expected. Unfortunately, because my Libre temperature has come out, it's made it a bit more difficult to kind of track. But I have had some periods throughout the day where I was within a good range, but generally they've been a little bit too high. I definitely need to look into changing my diet up and sort of removing some of that fruit and changing it for something low carb. So I'll be looking into doing that soon. I'll also be doing some videos on sort of tips, management tips and stuff, which is another reason why I do need to look into low carb foods, because I can't really give management tips when my own management's not particularly great. But I feel like I've got reasonable principles. It's just that I don't always adhere to them. But yeah, all the sort of negative stuff from the end of the fast has gone. All the lightheadedness, all the achiness, all the lethargy. So I'm feeling good, back to normal, and I've also put on about 4 or 5 pounds of weight as well, so that wasn't anything to be worried about either, really. So in general, the fasting experience has been very good. It wasn't anywhere near as extreme as I thought it might be, and I'll definitely be doing it again. Been continue to do some more research about it, and I think one of the reasons I felt so crap was I wasn't taking on enough sodium or potassium. So definitely looking into doing that next time, and I will probably vlog the next one as well, and hopefully have a bit more of a happy experience towards the end. I definitely do 3-day fasts, some 3-day fasts. I should be able to do them whilst at work as well, because I can do them sort of Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and not have to worry about working around food and being tempted. So yeah, I think that I'll leave the update or daily summary here, because I'm feeling quite tired. I'm not long eating all those bananas. I think I'm getting entering some sort of carb coma. I feel pretty knackered now, so I'm going to hit the hay in a moment. And yeah, I'd just like to thank you all for sort of joining me throughout this kind of journey into the unknown. And yeah, it's been a good experience, and one that I shall definitely repeat. Not entirely sure what happened there. The video kind of buggered up a little bit, so it's a bit strange. But yeah, once again, thanks a lot for joining us, and I hope to see you soon.